Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I wanted to do a carnivorous plant update for June. I just wanted to show you what's growing. There's lots happening. The days are bright and sunny and warm. Lots of water, lots of humidity for these guys, and they're growing at quite a rate. So I'm just going to show you a few over here first. I had to make some changes this month. The Cephalotus now are up in this front sunny corner of the greenhouse. I put them up here because I installed the new mist system and I wanted them to get as little misting as possible. They really don't like to be wet on the top. So there's a bunch of plants there. I brought a couple out just to show you. I have a new table as well that I'm not quite sure about yet. It's kind of big for in here. But anyways, the Cephalotus seem to be doing good. They're definitely finicky for me. I haven't had any die, but there's a couple that just simply aren't flourishing, and I'm not sure why. I keep the gravel just barely wet. It's very airy. Mixture of perlite, gravel from aquarium gravel, silica sand, peat, and I let it basically almost approach dryness before I rewater. It's not to the point where the lids close or anything like that. I do rewater before that. But we'll try them up at the front and see what happens there. So we'll move over this way. Most of the carnivorous plants are at the back. Just those guys are up at the front. This is the lowland grow chamber. I threw some sundews down here. This is like a humidity tray for the grow chamber, so I thought I might put some stuff in there. There's just a tiny bit of water. This is a Capensis. It's doing well in there. It's flowering. That's nothing surprising for Capensis. Sarah Adelaide, couple pots of those, 3 pots of those actually. They're all in flower as well. They're about the only sundew that has red flowers, so they're quite nice. Here they are there. Up above here we have the Bicalcarata Nepenthes. This little guy has got some awesome little fangs on him now, and it had a huge pitcher and leaf jump compared to the last one, and I'm hoping to get a much bigger picture on the next one. I'll show you the next leaf in a second, if this will focus on the fangs at all. Come on, there they are. But anyways, and then if you look, so it's starting to grow its next picture into there, but a huge leaf jump. Ampullaria is sending out tons of basils down below. It's getting some nice color on the leaves up top too, and some little pictures up there again. Clypeata is growing along slowly. Newest picture there, newest leaf there, so it's doing well. This little thing here is the Tillandsia seeds. Although not carnivorous, it's here in front of us, so we might as well have a look at it. They have germinated and are doing quite well in the moss. It's just sphagnum moss. Put the seeds on top. This container doesn't have any holes in it, so I just keep the spag quite wet. Once it's dry, I rewater it. Rafflesiana is doing well in the chamber here as well. Good picture size to it compared to the previous ones. There's a previous one there, so you can see them side by side. Big leaf jump too. It's growing a new picture out here, and the latest picture is a good size. I like it. It's a creamy white color with red speckles. That's all for the carnivorous plants in this chamber, I think. So we will continue to move on. Moving down here, this is going to be the moistest, coolest part of the greenhouse. We have a flower in there. The Aristolochoides are doing quite well. They are growing beside the Hamatas right now. They get misted several times a day from the mist system. They have little pitchers growing on them. The Hamatas continue to just floor me at their growth rate. It is huge, absolutely huge. I have moved the big Nepenthes Miranda back here. I'm hoping it'll start to pitcher again. It was in the house for the winter and it didn't do it any good whatsoever, but I can see new pitchers are starting to hopefully form on the tips there, and I'm just going to allow it to grow. It's quite tall. It goes all the way up. There's actually 2 stems, and I have it starting to grow along this way in behind this little bit of shade cloth here, and I'm just going to let it do its thing up there. Singulana is doing well. Lots of pictures. None of them seem to be perfectly shaped. They're always kind of off center a little bit. I don't know why. They're not like symmetrical, but the leaves aren't either. I'm not sure why that is. Pottichilla, growing lots of lower pitchers there. It's very flat rosette still. But it's got another one coming here. And good sized pitchers on them for the size of the plant. Lowii back there, we won't show you too closely. It's got some good leaf jumps on it. Macrophylla, it had a good leaf jump this time as well. Got a few little teeth happening. That's the first one that you can really see any real teeth. A few other seedlings here. Izume, Intermis, Venturecosa, Edwardsiana. It is finally doing something now that the humidity is up. All the old pitchers that didn't pitcher are actually starting to swell, so that's great. We have a little tiny pitcher here. Good color to it, and you can already see little teeth on the little thing. And we have this guy swelling, and we have this guy swelling over here. So, hoping for good things out of this guy. This one here is a Hamatocross Pottichilla. So, good picture there. A little bit of a deformity on that guy. And then a few leaf jumps later, we lost a leaf there. That was when I got it. And then this guy, because this leaf was broken, I lost the growth point on that because it just got cut off at the same time. It was right there. So I had to wait for this leaf to grow before I finally got another pitcher. And it is definitely a nice size pitcher for the plant. Kind of toothy, not really toothy. I don't find that any of the Hamata type crosses really keep their teeth all that much. Maybe I'm wrong, there are some out there. It does not want to focus. Having issues with focusing today. And a little bit of a hairy lid to it as well. But yeah, it's doing well. So, growing in leaps and bounds. Got another new picture coming over on the side there. Before we go any further, I will show you Bongso here. This is the latest picture here. It has a beautiful, awesome peristome. Beautiful purple color inside. Bit of a green to it right there as well. And yeah, dark brown, sort of blacky pictures. This one here is the last picture that I got. I strapped it up with a zap strap because I didn't like the way it was hanging. It had a bit of a peristome to it, but nothing like this guy. That one's looking really, really good. Totally happy with that one. What else do we have? The Helianthores are doing well. Good pitcher growth on those. That's a minor there. Another minor. Another minor. This one is a Heterodox. I see we got a few adult pitchers, then it went back to juvenile pitchers. Well, there's an adult pitcher coming back again. Nepenthes. Again, got a few adult pitchers, then it went back to juvenile pitchers. But if I look at the silhouette in there, it looks like that might be an adult pitcher coming out there. Newtons. This is Heterodox cross Ionazii. Very robust. It's just filling the plant, or filling the pot. There's 4 plants in there, but they're just going crazy. And here is Ionazii. Probably saying that wrong, but definitely not as robust as the cross. And there's about 3 plants in there, so they're doing okay. But overall, I'm finding these guys are growing really fast. They're not that slow growers at all. Bring you down here. King Sundews are doing awesome. These guys are the ones that I germinated last spring, so they're just over a year old. The leaf span on them is probably a foot or 14 inches in either direction. And there's 3 plants in there, and they're all doing good. I need to get them in their own pots, but I'll try to do that before the end of summer. I don't want to do that just before the heat of summer kicks in. Here are 3 more King Sundews. And again, same deal. They're doing really well. They're catching lots of bugs. They wrap right up on the bug when they catch it. Just coil around it, sort of. And 3 per pot. I need to get them into their own pots. I know they get huge. So, what else? Here is a Venturecosa. doing really well. It's got some nice uppers on it. White tops to the uppers, red bottoms. A bunch of basils are picturing nicely with lower pictures again, so that's nice too. Doing good. Lots of new ones. This thing is just like crazy. It is growing really well. Sabiu here. Big plant. Never does much. It's really hard to get it to picture. I'm hoping with the added mist that some of these are going to start picturing on me. But it went through a flush and had 4 big pitchers last year. They're half dead. I'm leaving them because the bottom half is still alive, and they're filled with nutrients in the water, so they're still sucking it up through those. So I don't want to cut them off. It did have a flower spike, which I cut off after I waited till it bloomed. So I know this is a male plant, but I had nothing to pollinate it with, nor did I really want to get into that at this time. So I just cut it off so it will continue to grow. Here's the latest growth point. There's where I cut off the spike. It was a very big, thick spike. But again, I'm spraying these a lot more now. I wasn't nearly spraying them enough, I don't think, and they weren't picturing for me. But we'll see how that goes. This one here is Spectabilis. The basils are all picturing nicely. There's all kinds of new pictures coming out on it. And the stalk itself is quite old. It's many years old. And then it gets to a stage up here where the pictures are about to start by the looks of it. Let me see if I can bring one up. Looks like they're about to start, but I've really been spraying it with water, so I'm hoping to see some good results. There behind it is the Venturecosa. It's just growing crazy. Lots of lower pitchers down there on the ground. This plant stands about 6 feet tall with many different vines on it. And again, it was in the house for the winter, so I've been spraying it like crazy now, and I can see some stuff finally starting to happen again. Some pitchers are starting to swell, so that's a good thing. Lots of swelling pitchers on it. I look forward to getting this thing full again. It's such a robust grower. If you want a Nepenthes that grows super fast, sends out lots of basil shoots, get a Venturecosa. Sundews and a few let's start over. Butterworts and a few sundews are in this tray. I did a butterwort update not too many videos ago. I remember talking about that guy back there and how it was doing quite poorly. Well, it's made a complete recovery. It's looking great again. That guy was the Gypsy Cola cross Montezuma. I remember going, oh, I don't know if it's doing good enough to actually like survive, but it is. Still no bloom spike on the Ping Gigantica, but that's it there. Covered in fungus gnats. I put a little piece of paper up there just to see what else I could catch. The butterworts are better than yellow sticky paper for catching stuff. These are Cephalo seedlings in these trays. There's a couple there. So all these trays have seedlings in. And this guy here is looking awesome. It is my Sanguinea. It has thrown off its biggest pitchers that it has ever thrown off this year. The size of them is huge. I didn't realize they even got that big. Quite beautiful too. Very red. Striped peristome. Purpley red blotches inside. Here's another big one, but I think this guy is bigger. And that is the latest one. Just massive. So, good size. Really happy with this guy. He's thrown off some basils, which are producing these guys here. And it's got another big picture coming on it over there. This is my sad old Trunkcattle. I can't figure this one out. Maybe you guys can help. I don't know whether to grow it lowland or highland. It doesn't seem to do well either way. Continues to grow, but the pitchers only last for 3 weeks before they start to deteriorate. and it was growing in highland conditions, and it wasn't doing very well, so I really dimmed down the light because it was getting quite red. And I threw it in the lowland chamber, and it seemed to pick up the growth, and it threw out a couple new pitchers, and within weeks the new pitchers were looking like this and looking like this. And then I noticed in the lowland chamber growing it warm, the latest pitcher, the leaf is smaller and the pitcher is smaller. So I'm trying to decipher what that means. Had some leaf jumps, now it's got back to smaller leaves and smaller pitchers. So I pulled it back out of the lowland chamber. It's going highland again for a little while until I figure it out. But I swear, being these are sort of a plain green pitcher, it is the lowland form there. But anyways, here's what it is. It will eventually get there. I'll figure it out one way or the other. It's still growing quite rapidly. Summertime it's a little bit more forgiving because the whole greenhouse is a little bit warmer. But I got to figure out whether I want to continue to grow that lowland or highland. Here is a tray here of miscellaneous sundews. These are Alice sundews, Benata, Oblanciata. Here is my one and only bladderwort. It's doing well this year. It is the Utricularia longifolia. I'm growing it in a clear container, which I'm not supposed to do because it starts to send out roots and leaves way down at the bottom of it instead of coming up the top. So I'm going to have to get it into a darker container soon. But anyways, that is my carnivorous plant update for June. I hope you liked this video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And I think pretty soon I will do a temperate carnivorous plant update as well. Maybe next week. The stuff outside is doing really well. But anyways, until next time, thanks for watching.